Hello and welcome back to West Ham Network this Wednesday evening or Thursday morning if you're looking in Australia. Good morning, Kieran. How are you, mate?
G'day, Cian. Good, mate. Good. A beautiful week of weather, and then overnight, oh God, the boy's back. Overnight, the rain came in. But that's, it's all right. Just as long as it don't get heavy and the noise of it, I can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I know. Well, we get rain all the flipping time, mate, so we're used to it. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Let's see who's in the chat. Usual at 10:54 this morning. Wow. Relentless. Mark at 12:07 this afternoon. Cool, blimey. Rich at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Play the 18s. They know how to win, he says. Well, we'll be talking
seems
about
to be
that.
the case.
About that. Randy says 6 o'clock. All right, Budgie and Kieran. Hope you guys are well and the chat. And then, we're getting closer to kick-off time. 8:12 this evening. Randy says, I would also recommend if you've not seen the video with Gio talking to a Brighton fan about Potter and whether he was the right choice for West Ham. It's an interesting watch, and he now knows more about Potter. So that's good. That's good to know. I'll give that a look. I will give that a look. Good evening, William. Thank you very much for joining us. Randy's back. Phil, nearly time for my favourite live of the week, he says. Helps the night shift go that little bit quicker. Evening, fellas, and good evening, chat. Good evening,
hey, Phil. Mate, it's a fucker working at night tonight.
Yeah, it's a bastard.
Done that a bit myself over the years.
Yeah, we've all done a bit of night work, mate. Blinking hell.
Yeah.
I had to do this night job decorating. It was in a bank. And, it was quite weird. Working in a bank with security guards standing over you, watching you all night. Real weird. Randy says, Phil, hope you're well, mate. Who else have we got in the Who else? Toa. Brendan, good evening, sir. Evening, Budgie, Cieran, chatters. So now we know the Sharks have decided to head to the Mediterranean. Yeah, I did hear something. I don't know what it was. But I think there was a shark attack in the Mediterranean somewhere.
Was there? Good, yeah. See, a lot of them, they emigrate north, son, and warmer waters. We're coming into winter, see? So, and it's true, most shark attacks here happened in the warmer waters in the summer than it does in the winter, because we're coming into winter. It gets less and less. They're not as active. So there might be, popped over to Spain there, mate, to shoot up a few people.
I love the way you put that. Chew up a few people. Randy says, Brendan, hope you're well. Rumour has it that even Tinder profiles notice that usual always comes first. Brilliant, Brendan, brilliant. Been shit, to be honest, mate. It says, Phil, but been worth it as I got a couple of quid pay rise. How about you? He says. Nice, get pay rise. Nice. Everybody's just generally chatting. Rich, West Ham. Good evening, all. He says. Hope everyone's well from on your irons. Good evening, Rich. Hope you're well, bud. Like button smash. Thank you, and thank you for the reminder. Don't forget, guys. Those of you that are watching already, please remember to give the like button a little tickle for us. It really helps us out, and it helps the channel out as well. And we know you love the channel. There are 200 people now watching, so I'd like to see 100 likes by the end of the show. Please.
That ain't fucking happening.
Well, we'll try. We'll see it. We'll see. Mark, thank God for the kids. Yeah, absolutely. We will get to that in a minute. Congrats to the 18, says Randy. Good evening, Rich, says Mark. Who else have we got? Cookie Hammer. Good evening, mate. How are you? James Bong. Greetings, Mr. B, Mr. C, lords, ladies, and general gentry. That's Sham 69, isn't it? It was right at the very beginning.
G'day, Jamesy.
Well, you know, when Russ titled the show, When the Kids Are United, it just made me think of Jimmy Percy and the boys, you know. So I just thought I'd give a little quick
Jimmy Percy.
I know, yeah. I watched a video of it today. It was quite funny to watch. Wonder if Fullkrug will play on Saturday, asked Helen. Good evening, Helen. And great question to open up with.
Hello.
We will get to what we think might be the team selection. We usually get it wrong, so be prepared for that. But we'll get to that in a little while. Everyone's saying good evening to everybody else. Usual. Good evening, swingers, he says. Oh, swingers. I think you're in the wrong chat, mate. Randy's saying hi to everybody again. Good evening, Mr. Freshfielder. Get on with the croc watch. Well, Sean, to be fair, there is no croc watch from Australia, but apparently someone got chewed up in the Mediterranean. Now, I have yet to find out what that's about. So let's have a look on Google. Right. Oh, here we go. A 40-year-old Israeli man was torn apart by sharks as he swam in the Mediterranean off of a popular tourist beach near Hadera, northwest Israel, on Monday. The beach famously attracts sharks, and people often play with the animals, even pulling their tails and hand-feeding them fish.
All right.
Idiots.
He fucking fed his hand win this time, wasn't he?
So we've established also that the Israelis are more mad than the fucking Aussies. They're actually hand-feeding them and pulling their tails. My God. But yeah, so an Israeli man got torn apart by sharks.
Yeah.
Hope that satisfies your thirst for shark attacks.
Even though.
Well, we don't know anything about crocodiles, so
that subject about, you know, like when I told you about the rock fisherman geezer.
Yeah.
Well, you had a big thing happened last weekend, Easter weekend. We can talk about that later.
Yeah. Apparently, if Liverpool beat Spurs at the weekend, says Randy, it means that they will win the league. And fair play to them if they do. We all want them to beat Spurs anyway. And it'll be nice for them to sew it up this weekend. And then
we'll be done.
Well, then we ain't got to worry so much about it, have we? Good evening, Damien. Thank you for joining us, mate. How are you? Brendan says, my main observation to share this week, there are more aeroplanes at the bottom of the ocean than there are submarines in the sky. Yes, mate. I think you might be right there. What happened to your lot tonight? Damien says, usual. His lot? That is thought-provoking. It is, Mark. It is. They drew 2-2 tonight, apparently.
Yeah.
Who's his lot, then?
It would have been Arsenal Palace, wasn't it, playing tonight?
Yeah, but that weren't 2-2, surely, was it?
Yeah, I flicked on for about 2 minutes. Got so bored watching them. It was 2-1 at the time, so...
All right, okay.
There'd be a chance it was 2-2.
So, yeah, it was, yeah. It was 2-2, and it was Kiwar and Trossard that scored for Arsenal, Eze and Mateta, of course, for Palace.
Lovely. Another draw for Arsenal. It's about their 20th this year.
Yeah. And, you know, people have given me a bit of stick recently because, especially in Tony's chat and that, because I've said that Arsenal are always going to come second. They're never going to win it. And I've been taking a little bit of stick for it. But, you know, with their performances, I think it's justifying my words, you know.
Well, that was always be the case. I mean, they got bigger fish to fry now because they're in that Champions League semi-final. So that's all they care about now. They know the league's done. They've got Champions League football next year. They're going to finish second. Yeah. Nothing else fucking matters bar the Champions League to them now. Whether they finish second in that is another kettle of fish, which is could be highly likely.
Damien says, told you Potter was a flop, Budgie. Players ain't having him, all because he's showing favouritism to Mr. Sideways and Backways. Hashtag Potter out. Fair enough, Damien. There was a player revolt, it sounds like, to Debo, Alvarez and Kudus, apparently. Randy wants to know, how you both felt about the Southampton game and what are your thoughts on it? Give us a couple of minutes and we will get on to that. Insider info, Damien asked, Mark, the Israelis are a great bunch of lads. I never said they weren't, Sean, but they're mad as a box of frogs. If they're going to go and feed sharks and shit, then shouldn't be surprised when someone gets torn up.
Yeah,
probably
it's not the double.
Who could that be, I wonder? Well, Lynn, apparently, it's Debo, Alvarez and Kudus. So good evening to you, Lynn, by the way. Lovely to see you, as usual. Haven't waves killed more people than sharks in Oz this year? No. There's been quite a few shark attacks this year in Oz.
Yeah, but the waves have. They have because, you know, like when I've done that thing about the rock fishermen, you know, the amount that have been washed off the rocks and died. Well, it happened again last weekend. Because there was a cyclone off New Zealand, right? And the cyclone, even though it weren't near Australia, it got up the surf. Then all the east coast of Australia, the fucking surf coming in was massive, right?
Yeah.
And all over the Easter weekend, which is where, you know, a lot of people go to the beaches and go fishing off rocks, which is, I keep saying, is so bloody dangerous. But they shut a lot of the beaches because it was so dangerous. And in, I think, 3 different places, 4 people got washed off the rocks again and gone. Fucking gone.
Gone.
You know what I mean? It's so fucking dangerous, but they keep doing it. They don't put a life jacket on. They get washed into the water, mate. They're fucked.
Yeah, because they're going to get smashed against the rocks and all sorts, life preserver or not. Yeah, they're fucked, mate.
Okay.
Once they're in the water.
If you had a life jacket on, you got a half a chance of maybe the chopper getting you out of the ocean.
Maybe.
If you haven't,
Damien's asking, lads, do you think a better manager who has more authority will change the mentality of this group? I would imagine that any manager would change the mentality of the group at the moment, because although it seemed to be very positive for the first part of Potter's tenure, it now seems to be questionable and questioned. Liverpool won the league tonight, Freshfielder says, and I agree with that. Liverpool not taking advantage, not taking maximum points. They've won it already.
Yeah.
Mark, West Ham way, Mark, not you having kittens. Right, okay. Randy, Spurs. So the Israeli got more than just a snip. Yeah, mate, he got the chomp and all, mate. Got torn apart, fella. Got to feel bad for him. Neil Fitzhammer, evening from Northumberland. Sadly, called Saturday right. Can't wait for this season to be over, but don't want next season to start.
Oh, Neil. Yeah. Getting a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Sort of talking amongst themselves. Think we're down next season. At least we could chase Sullivan out of town. Mark, I really don't think we are out of this league next season. I don't think we're going down. And I'm kind of getting fed up with hearing it from fans, if I'm completely honest, because how can we tell what's going to happen? You know, okay, things aren't going well right now, but we don't know what's happening between now and
so it's impossible to say till you see who leaves, who comes in, and that's it. What should you be worried about it? Fuck yeah. I think we all need to be worried about it, because I always look at the rebuild, or what we've got to do. I always look at it in January, guys, and say, what have we got here as a squad for the next year? I always look at it then, not now when we're playing badly. And I looked at it and I went, oh my God, when you think of the likes of Ings and Cresswell, we might get rid of Southampton, and I'm looking at Rodriguez, he ain't staying, neither was that Soler. And then I go, no, you know, maybe Potter doesn't want Socek, and I'm going, Jesus, fuck, Alvarez now met me out the door. It all builds up to shit. This is going to be a lot of players. And then you've got that fucking cocksmoker Sullivan, right? He's going to be in charge of it. That's more worrying than the actual thing.
The most worrying part of it, to be fair. The fact that cocksmoker, I love that. He's the biggest worry for me tonight. I've got to be honest. At this moment in time, going into the rebuild, I mean, look, we're going to end up with, you know, players from Primark and, you know, the thrift shops, and you know what I mean. It's like we're not going to be getting anybody decent, not with that man doing it. He ain't got a clue, you know. He really hasn't got a bloody clue.
Yeah, that's the biggest worry, is him, because you don't think he can do it. We might need 6, 7, 8 players. I don't know. We'd have to promote some of the youth, I think, to fill the gaps. If you think about what could leave, it could be a lot.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Kudos, but you know, Paquetá gets cleared. I think we're selling him. Kudos, you know, is another possibility. Jesus fuck, you know, we'd be about 6 fucking first team players down, never mind squad players. So, yeah, it is worrying, but I don't think we got overreact. I was really gutted with the Southampton game, right? I thought this is where it'd start for the rest of the season, Potter, and show, especially, you know, starting Fullkrug with the intent of taking it to them, and let's see something for the rest of the season. And he disappointed me big time, and so did the team. And I thought, shit, that's where it should have started, mate. You know, the feel-good factor, you know, bang. We got a shitty 1-1. But then there's a meltdown. We're getting relegated next year because of that one result. You know, it's more than that. You can't just go, oh, one result and we get. It's the rebuild you should be worried about.
Yeah.
Who can do it before this game? Yeah. I did want us, you know, when he took off Fullkrug at the end, but Soucek on, put Mavroparan. I mean, Jesus, mate, you're trying to hold on to a scrappy 1-0 win. That's not going to appease anyone.
Yeah.
And couldn't even do that. It ended up, we didn't get the 1-0 win. So it was disappointing against Southampton. Yeah, that's where we are, aren't we? And the season has ended too quickly, really, for us. It was ended fucking months ago because we were so crap.
Yeah.
Like that's, you know, the season was over when Lopetegui tenure finished, and we were hopefully we could have had a bounce off Potter and, you know, gone ahead, but we don't seem to have done. We seem to have gone from the initial sort of couple of games weren't too bad. It's sort of gone downhill, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's disappointing. It's just disappointing because you've really got, you know, not even looking forward to the games now.
Damien saying, see the under 18s. Damien says, see the under 18s. I bet you there was a Bonds boy in there somewhere, Kieran.
Yeah, I'll bet we'll have to go through that, Damien. We'll have to find that out, mate. Gotta be.
Mark fancies a bit of the Championship. Daz is
it's more
asking what
exciting
we
than the
think.
Premier League, I'll tell you that.
Daz is asking Brighton next. What do we think? We will get to that in a little while, and we will hold the comments there for a minute. I think we've got everybody that's actually in the chat so far. Let me just scroll right to the bottom, which I have. Oh no, we got a new arrival, Aqua or Aquam. Not loving Potter. Got no issue if he does do one now, to be honest. Yeah, fair play.
Yeah, stop raining there, Rackbam, has it? It's fucking started here now.
Yeah.
I can see the sun. I can see the sun.
Yeah. Last night,
Yeah.
West Ham under-18s played Reading under-18s in the Premier League under-18s Cup final and won 2-1. 2 goals from I knew you said Aquam then because it sounds like that. Ajala.
Someone.
Yeah, no, Ajala. 2 goals from Ajala. One of them was kind of like accidental knocking off of him, but the second one he meant good header, real good header. And they are champions. They've made history in becoming champions. So fair play to them. They've done really, really well. And you know, we also know that the under-21s, under-23s have done reasonably well this season as well. And the question is, who steps up? Who steps up to first-team football from the youth division, from the academy? And I think we're all pretty unanimously going to go with Ollie Scholes. I think he's more or less guaranteed himself a place in the squad next season. And we're hearing that Freddie Potts is favourite to get himself a squad position as well. Other than that, who would you think might get an opportunity next season?
It's hard to know, guys, unless you watch the under-18s and under-21s, religiously and get an idea. And again, the 18s and 21s, it's massive step up. Even for Ollie Scholes coming into to the first team squad, it's great for him. That's a big step up. It's not so simple. So it's hard to know. The players we've got out of loan, we've got Earthy and Potts. See, they've been getting great experience. So it's really hard to know. And again, with the squad rebuild we might have to do, we don't even know the makeup of the team next year.
Well, this is true. And this is why it's so much more important that if any of the youth players do step up, that they are ready. And, I say that Ollie Scholes is ready to play a part in the squad. And I say that Potts is ready to play a part in the squad. Playing for Portsmouth is very demanding. And also, he's done so well that the club have done nothing but praise the boy. They've expressed a desire to keep him at the club, which I don't think is going to happen. But Freddie Potts has done really well, and he's gained a lot of valuable experience. So I suggest that he would be ready to step up to the squad. I'm not saying straight away get in minutes, but like he has done with young Oliver Scholes, introduce him gradually. 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 20 minutes. Bring him on gradually,
If we can't get in the players we need, guys, we might be forced to bring these boys into our squad setup, whether we want to or not. So it really is up in the air with this squad we've got. It's amazing how we always seem to need a rebuild every 18 months, doesn't it? When you look to the like of Brighton or look at Villa now, fuck me. Villa's bench is fantastic. I mean, they've more or less got, 2 quality players in every position. And you look at Brighton, when they come to an end of the season, what they bring 1 in, maybe 2, sell 1. We seem to have to keep doing this. Bring in 5, 6, 7 players. What? And let go. And when you look at them, especially like the end of this season, Ings and Cresswell, Antonio. To me, all three of them are done. And you go, fucking hell, that's just them. That's what we're thinking of the players we got on loan. Ferguson's going back. Soler's going back. You know, Rodriguez isn't good enough. Let's get rid of him. Souček could be at the end of it for West Ham, not getting the minutes now under par.
Well, yeah.
So,
I mean, I think Souček's demise has been on the cards more or less since the beginning of the season, to be fair. Even Lopetegui was not selecting him at times.
He was playing him for a while there, Lopetegui. He was one of them. I love Souček, but it might be time, you know. It might be good for him to make a move. And do we keep Southampton back up to Wan-Bissaka? Is that another one we got to think about replacing? I don't know, man. Yeah. It's just that suck it and see thing, isn't it? Bloody mate.
Yeah. Aquam says if Brighton turn us over at the weekend, Potter needs to fuck off. Well, you know, I can understand.
He ain't going nowhere, mate. Don't matter what the result is. He ain't going nowhere. We might want it. We might want to get rid of him, but he ain't going nowhere.
So the young lad that we bought from Paris FC and then loaned him straight back to, this young Kante fella, Mark seems to think he's going to turn out to be shit. A waste of time. Who knows, mate? Who knows? We're starting to see a little difference in attitude towards Guilherme now. A lot of people were saying, what was the point? What was the point? Now people can see the point. Right. God. What was I going to say? I think, you know, we've got a few young players out on loan, and obviously, you know, we've got a few players come back from injury as well. Crescencio Somerville being one of them, one of the most important ones.
That was disappointing, but we still haven't seen enough of him, to be honest, have we?
No, we haven't.
You know what I mean?
We haven't seen enough of him.
Your new signing when he's back.
Yeah, it'll be like a brand new signing. Ian, good evening to you, sir. He says, Damien, Jose is a form winner, but his time is now done. His antics worked when they were fresh and new, but not now. He would also turn this club even more toxic within 6 months. I wouldn't even give it that long, Ian, to be fair. I agree with everything that you've just said there. And Damien, I know you love Jose Mourinho. And don't get me wrong, I think he was a great manager, one of the best. But, you know, as Ian says, not anymore. His time is done. There are managers coming up. I mean, look, one of these days soon, we're going to be talking about the likes of Company and people like that. Don't you worry about that.
I think it's pointless talking about any manager, Matt, because this geezer's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I know.
If his first 4 months of next season's horrendous, then you might see a change. You know, a panic change, which worries me even more. You know, the old cocksmoker Sullivan, fucking bringing in another manager that doesn't work, and you go, fuck, it's not a good look. So we just got to hope they can get the recruitment right, and then we have a good start to the season. It's the only thing we can hope for. I'd just like to see this season end on a high, right? Right. All of us are flat. We're even flat here at the moment. We're normally a bit because of these performances. You know, it'd be nice. Go out and fucking beat Brighton, beat Man United, beat Tottenham. He would know. You know, put really good performances against them. You know, as a team, that would give everyone a lift going towards the end of the season.
You and I haven't actually spoken yet about Fullkrug and his comments at the weekend. So let's just pause the I'll leave those odds on there for everybody to have a look at from usual. Thank you, usual. We haven't spoken about the Southampton game the other day. Personally, I was highly disappointed with minute 1 to minute 90 or 94. I didn't think that any one of them put, any glory on themselves. I thought every single player, if I was rating them, would have got a 4 at the very most.
I would have, bar one for me.
Well, I mean, I don't even think. I can't even think of any one player that impressed me at all at the weekend. Not one.
Well, one I kept an eye on because of how he played against Liverpool is Paquetá, right? I thought he was, the best West Ham player on the park against Liverpool. He was good, and I thought he had a good game in this game. I thought he was trying his utmost. I thought his defensive work was fantastic as well. I thought he was really good. But it goes amiss when everyone else is sort of. It was just the way we didn't go for it. The sideways passing, the negativity in that first half. We just gave away 45 minutes ago, and it's just one great finish from Bowen. Is all you can say about him, because he didn't particularly perform that well either. He was he
didn't show his captaincy's colours very well either. I don't think he formulated a plan to get back into the game, or to get into the game, I should say. And as captain, you've got to do these things. You've got to orchestrate your players on the pitch. And Bowen's just not doing it. And I love him. I love him to bits, but he's not a captain for me. And I've said all along that I'll support him all the time he's captain. I will support it. But I don't think he's captain material. I really don't. And I think we need someone on there that's going to kick ass. And, at the moment, there are only 3 players I would put forward at this moment in time to actually do that. One would be Fabianski, which would mean having to play him every week, which isn't going to happen. One would be Kilman, and the other one would be Fullkrug. Because the passion that he showed at the weekend shows me he's not just here to play football and improve his position in life. He's here to play the beautiful game. He's here, he's here because he wants to be here, Cieran. You don't go coating off your teammates, calling the performance shit if you don't care about the club you're playing for. It's hard to interpret what Fullkrug said, especially in a different language. You could take it that he was slagging off half the team, or you could actually take them comments as he was having a go at Potter for being so defensive minded, and he's only half the team trying to win it. It depends how you interpret it. If he was slagging off the players, I'd have 2 opinions on that case. One is, if I was a player on that team, I'd be straight in that dressing room afterwards, pulling him, getting him by the fucking throat and say, right then, who do you fucking mean? What do you mean? Get that out of the way. I don't agree with you airing your dirty laundry in public, right? If I'm a player in that dressing room, I'd fucking be onto it. Now, especially if I was the captain, right? I'd be fucking giving it to him. But the other way to look at it, like that, the other way to look at it, Geezer, is if you're a fan like us now, I loved it. I loved him fucking coming out and fucking doing it, right? I want to see a bit more of that. Yeah. I mean, the last player I remember coming on and giving it to his teammates like that was Roy Keane. I remember him giving it to his teammates, but since then, you just don't hear it, And it's refreshing that someone has come out and spoken. However,
the thing is, I'm sure it happens a lot more than we know in game, but that's the point. What I say, that as a player, that should happen in the dressing room, in-house. No one else should fucking know. I'm sure it happens quite a lot, but you don't normally hear about it. Fullkrug wants to do it on an interview, and he swore as well. Back and even better, he said, "Shit, oh my god." We want to see a bit of that. But like I said, as a player in that team, I wouldn't be too happy with it. I'd be fucking grabbing him, man. And it clear the air, and it could work for good. You know what I mean? If you can clear the air and find out what the fuck. So I think part of it
is a lump. Would you really be grabbing hold of him? He's a bit.
Oh, maybe not him. No.
You said, Mr. Fullkrug, sir.
I'll stand behind fucking Kilman, right, and slag him up. It's a Kilman, sort this fucker out.
Or Vlad. Mate, I wouldn't fucking argue with Vlad.
Yeah, Sue Fowl. Yeah, I'd have Sue Fowl in front of me.
Yeah, mate, I reckon he's as hard as nails, that fella. He gives you that impression, doesn't he? But, I mean, I think, though, having said that, the performance was shit. The team performance was shit. The tactics of the management coaching staff was shit. The application of the instructions from the coach was shit. Basically, it's a weekend that we should we've got to forget about, because if we keep that, if we keep that as a recent memory, it's just going to keep bugging us. We got to start focusing on this weekend, which is Brighton. Away.
See, the most disappointing thing of it, Geezer, is I expected the opposite to happen. I thought we were going to really have a good game against them. I was positive that my prediction was we'd win 2-0, but a convincing win 2-0. I thought Matey in goal there would be fucking pulled off save up save. No, that didn't happen. You know, it didn't happen. He hardly had anything to do, man. You know, couple of saves. Great bit of footwork from Fullkrug to feed old Guilherme. I thought that was quality. Showed his class with the ball at his feet.
Absolutely.
Shame Guilherme couldn't have buried that. But anyway, he looked lively when they come on. You know, the little bits are positive. But, Jesus, I thought we'd dominate that game and I thought we'd be all over them. We just weren't. Yeah. And, I mean, and they deserved a point, at least, Southampton. Simple as that.
Yeah, they did. That's what I was going to say. You know, Southampton had nothing to lose. Everything to gain from really giving it to us. And, you know, let's be fair, they could have gone into the half-time 2-0 up.
They could have done that. Had two chances there, Geezer, and that boy Diblin missed one in the second half there. That could have been a goal. He probably should have buried it.
And, to say, they hit the woodwork in the first half. And then there was that other chance.
Yeah.
And then, you know, so I think, you know, in general, Sunday was, you know, a fucking 2 out of 10 performance from the entire squad.
Yeah, we just get rid of it, guys. It's done now. Doesn't help the fan base to look forward to Brighton, that's all.
No.
But it's another game, mate. Another team selection.
You know, one win in 18 games against Brighton.
What we got?
Yep.
Quality, Geezer. We're flying.
1 win, 5 draws in 18 games, 13 losses. Sorry, it must be 19 games because I'm sure it's 13 losses. So 1 win, 4 draws in 19 games.
Oh.
Against
Brighton. Not good.
So, yeah, it's not looking
Brighton
good.
They're not in good form. Brighton. You know what I mean? So, who knows?
You know, they are a wounded animal. They got an injury list, you know, as long as the character's on a keyboard. And it's just the fact that the players they have got available, out of all of them, one of them is the player that I fear most at Brighton, and that's Matoma.
I like him, He looks good here and there, Geezer. Looks good here and there.
He tears us apart every time, Cieran. Every time he plays us, he tears us apart.
We normally any wingers tear us apart. We had Walker Peters doing it fucking weekend. I think he's dog shit. He could have scored a goal. He could have scored a goal in that first.
Well, Robson could come and make a comeback and, you know, still get past our lot. Right, to the chat. Rich says the 21st play Sunderland Saturday lunchtime in the Premier League 2 playoff.
Oh, right, is it?
So, yep. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
That would give us an opportunity to get third position in the league, I suppose. The playoff would be for third or second, third, fourth, maybe. and 5th. Anyway, Ian, what we want is younger options from abroad who can suit the current crop of players and identifying the right coach that plays the style we can get behind. Randy, I know, listen, mate, as we've said, as Cieran has said a number of times this evening, Potter's going nowhere right now. You know, there's no way he's going anywhere for the time being. So we can forget about who we would want or who's coming in to replace him. Nobody is, because he's not going anywhere.
No, even though
take it from us old bastards. Yeah,
a good club would have a manager in mind, even if he was doing all right. You know, you look to the future and go, okay, when he burns out, have we got anyone in mind? West Ham don't do that. We don't.
Yeah, no,
just say who's available at the time. Yeah,
David Sullivan's looking at the adverts for managers looking for jobs, mate. Not
that's it. Yeah, who's on the dole? Who's on the dole? We'll get that.
Who's on the dole now? Who can we get on the dole? Damien says, don't think he turns the club toxic. I think he gets the group together. The only reason his tactics are becoming dated is because everyone has copied them. There is some truth in that as well, Damien, but he does, mate, he does make things toxic within the club. Not necessarily in the changing room, but Mourinho.
Oh, him. I mean, why we bother talking about him?
No. Sorry, feeling negative, says Mark. Right, still not £1 million solid on Guilherme. If I was in charge, I would sell him with a buyback clause. So, that's...
I ain't seen enough of him, Damien, himself, to know. He's obviously got talent. There's no doubt about it. He's got talent. Whether it can work in the Premier League eventually, I don't know. I think it's one of them. If we'd paid 10 million for him, no one would be complaining. Again, money makes a difference, and I think it's the same with Kilman. We well overpaid for Kilman, for me. And when he has bad games, he goes back to that transfer. You go, shit, 40 million for that. We'd paid 10 to 15 million for Guilherme, which you normally would for a youngster like that. No one would have batted an eyelid and say, yeah, this is potential. This is for the future. But we sort of overpaid a bit. But the boy might come good. He could be worth 60 million in 2 years' time. Who knows? Got to see him more, that's all.
Yeah. You can get a 4-2-3-1 coach, but it could be totally different coach from Europe. It would be the best choice in my honest opinion, but that's when the board need people to scout in the right regions. Yeah, okay. Right, who else we got? Have we got anyone else in the chat that we haven't spoken to yet? Or anyone that's not talking to each other? Any questions? A few players impressed me. They were all wearing red and white shirts. Damien,
I didn't impress me that much.
Places, mate, of course.
It's amazing that you're going to play Brighton, isn't it? And I always like to see it with the old Danny Welbeck, right? Playing there. Do you know he's got the same amount of goals as Bowen this year, Danny Welbeck? He's about 62. And he's on 9 goals. You know what I mean? He's still, man, that boy must be the ultimate professional. He keeps himself fit, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He's 31, 32 now, and he's Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, it must be at least 32, I'd imagine. Yeah. So it just seems to have been around forever. And he's still popping in goals, guys. It gives you 9 goals a season. That's 10 goals a season. That's not a bad return for an old boy.
His dad still keeps the country safe, doesn't he? His dad's Stan.
Dad's what?
He's a bomb disposal expert, isn't he? Danny
Oh, is he?
Welbeck's dad.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
his
know
dad,
that.
Stan Welbeck.
Oh, you fucking wanker. That is fucking horrendous. What's the matter with you?
Rich is asking if anyone's going Saturday to the Brighton game. His coach is leaving Hornchurch at 9 a.m. Only takes 90 minutes or so. It's going to be a good drink. I would love to be there. I haven't got a ticket, unfortunately. And I don't think I can afford a ticket this week, to be fair.
What time's kick off, fucking Rich? You get fucking going there early.
No, 2 o'clock, I think. No, hang on. It's Saturday, isn't it? No, probably 3 o'clock. Let me have a little peekaboo on the old.
Oh, yeah, it's not often 3 o'clock starts, is it?
No. View all fixtures.
9 o'clock. Stop for breakfast, then a beer.
Yeah.
God.
Right. So, yeah, 3 o'clock we got kick-off. So the Chelsea-Everton game is the 12:30 game. And that's on TNT Sports. And then, of course...
Do you know,
you can't...
Rich, the last time I left Hornchurch, right, in a coach, was, you know, the semi-final we had at Villa Park against Nottingham. I was back from Australia at Villa Park against Nottingham Forest, wasn't it? When we got done about 5-1 or whatever, 5-0. Yeah. Matey got sent off early, right? The boys in Hornchurch that I know, they hired Southend's team coach. And it was a cracking coach, you know, with tables and sitting back in then. It was a fucking top coach. We were steamboats. We got off the coach there at the car park right near the ground there, and it kicked off within 30 seconds. Geezer, 4 geezers steaming in into these forest fuckers that were walking past. And then it all kicks off. Right? And a copper grabbed me by the neck. I just got away from him. But he grabbed then my mate Dave, right? And they fucking nicked him, right? They took him to the cop station there, right? And kept him there. They took his tickets off him, mind you. He had his ticket on him. They took that off him. Apparently, they were sending them out the back of the cop station. For all the people that they dragged in. Weird, because it was a big semi-final. And, yeah, they kept him in till about 10 o'clock that night. And we had to leave, you know, I mean, after the game, well, we couldn't hang around for it. So we just fucked off on the coach. And it was 10 o'clock. But he saw, what was the coach firm that we all used to use back then? Oh, you might not know, Budge, because you're the other side.
Yeah.
The famous coach firm, it always West Ham supporters used to go to away game. And he saw one of these coaches coming down the street as he come out of what's the name, and he waved it down, and the boys got him all the way back to Hornchurch. Got lucky.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was a good story. He never saw the game. Was sat in the cell for fucking 6-8 hours.
Actually, a similar thing like that happened to me one time. We were playing Swansea, and I ended up getting into a bit of trouble and getting myself lifted by the old bell. They released me at about 7:15 in the evening, 7:30, and I just went to the local pub because they give me all my wallet and everything back. Went to the nearest pub, went in there having a drink, told this guy what I'd done, and he was going, "Oh, mate," he said, you know, he said, the bus station's only just up the road there. He said, you might be able to get a bus into London. Might be able to help you. And I've gone walking to the bus station and I've seen a coach right over the far side of the bus station with Crawley Luxury written down the side of it.
Oh, that's handy.
I thought, God, no way.
Well, there's a fucking lie there straight away, geezer. Fucking luxury.
Oh, no, it was a real nice coach. You know, it had an onboard toilet. Well, back then, it had an onboard toilet on it. It was really quite plush. It had curtains on the side windows and everything. It was great. And it had taken a load of people from Crawley and Horsham up to a show of some description. Some, I don't know what it was, Tom Jones or something. I don't fucking know. But there were about 35 people on it. It was a 52-seater, wasn't it? So I've said to the driver, mate, is there any chance I can jump on and fuck off up the back or something? You know what I mean? He goes, well, to be fair, they all go up the back. He said, you're better off jumping and sitting up behind me or something. I was like,
better off driving.
Yeah. So I gets on there. Within 5 minutes, I'm fucking sound asleep, and I'm on the go. And then he starts moving, which woke me up. But got me all the way back to Crawley bus station.
Brilliant.
And, and then I had to walk from there. But it was about, about 1:15 in the morning by the time we got there. Because they'd gone to Walsham first. And because it's a Crawley company, they wanted to finish their journey in Crawley. So it was about 1 o'clock or something in the morning when I got off the bus. Then I had like a 3-mile hike home from there.
No, yeah, it would have been a great feeling. Like my mate Dave, when I talked to him the next day, that he got home, when he saw that coach, he just fucking, he thought all his Christmases had come at once. He didn't know how to get back. Coppers just kicked him out and see you later.
The previous time that had happened to me, I risked getting nicked again because I had to bunk the trains to get home. I had no way of getting home the previous time that happened to me, and that was at Villa. That was at Aston Villa. And
I must say though, even though we got flogged in that game against Forest, right? But especially was it Tony Gale got sent off? Fucking ridiculous sending off too, and the atmosphere in the ground was fucking for the West Ham fans was fantastic. They didn't stop all through the fucking game. It was brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to watch that. Why? Who is it? Usual? Come on, tell us. Right. So Daz thinks Fullkrug was right. Mark's his budget because who was it? Oh yeah, Rich called me budget. Randy, he's talking to Daz and Tony. Good evening, Tony, Budgie Cieran, and all you great people. Come on, your hands.
Good Tony.
5 months. Nice one, Tone.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff, mate. Brilliant stuff. Fullkrug was bang on with what he said, says Aquam. Bowen is not a natural captain. He's too quiet. Fullkrug said it as it is. And I agree.
Look, the only thing I would say about that game, right?
He didn't use names, which is, fine. He did generalise.
I would never take the captaincy off Bowen. Right? I'll tell you why. Whether he's the best man for the job, it's not the point. The point is with Bowen, his words, the second best moment of his life, or at best, equal to winning that cup in Prague, right, was being named the West Ham captain. He thinks the world of being given that honour, right? And to take it off him, I think would fucking destroy him. It would be a bad, bad idea, for him. So I just leave him that, mate. I always believe captains are in the dressing room anyway. The geezer with the armband isn't always the captain of a club. All the clubs I play for, you have 4 or 5 guys like that are captain material, and they show it in the dressing room and on the pitch. I'm not so sure whether he's that material. Probably not, but I wouldn't ruin his confidence, geezer, by taking it off him. I think it'd be a bad move.
No, I wouldn't. But I think Bowen's fucking clever enough to know it's too big for him. I wouldn't be too surprised if he says, "Look, Gaffer, Give somebody else the armband this season. I want to concentrate on the game.
I think he's too proud of it, guys. It means a lot to him. So, as it should any player to be a captain of a club in the Premier League. That's pretty special.
Akram saying, Budgie, it's another weekend that we have to forget. Indeed, it is, mate. It is another weekend we have to forget. We can't.
Oh yeah.
We can't let this poison our love for the club, mate.
It's to forget with the other 28 we need to forget before it. We know. But what do you do, man? We are where we are, and that's it. It's no point fucking beating yourself up over it.
No.
Especially when you go in and say, "Well, we're getting relegated next year." For fuck's sake. Fuck, I haven't got that many years left on this earth. I can't be looking at next year going, fuck next year and the year. Fuck. I need some hope. Got to have some hope that something could change. Well, no, I know we're grasping at straws here, but...
So, yeah, well, you know why, don't you? Clearly. I don't do roll-ups, mate. Not if I don't have to. So it lasts longer, you know what I mean? I can put it out and relight it, you know. Right. Mark says, we shouldn't have beat Everton, Bournemouth and Southampton. We should have beaten Everton, Bournemouth and Southampton. We got a draw at Anfield. Bloke's a bottle job. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Dear.
What did Phil say? Because I've missed that completely. That was a long time ago. I ain't going all that way back. Right. Dad says we need to do something at West Ham to move forward. If it's new players, new manager, so what? Well, you know, I can't see it being a new manager. New players in the summer, yes.
Yeah, loads of them.
Dyche is waiting for the job, apparently.
No, please, Mark, stop it. For fuck's sake, man. Don't send us all down in a serious depression now with fucking Dyche.
You're right.
He's out of work, though, so every chance.
Yeah. Danny Ings needs more time, says Mark.
Give him another season. Yeah, it might come good.
More time on the bench, you mean?
Yeah, there's more chance of JWP hitting a fucking free kick in the top corner.
Yeah.
That ain't happening either, is it?
Frog in a well. Good evening,
Hey,
Budgie, Cieran and Hammers. Good evening, Frog. How are you, mate? Everyone's saying hello to you.
Wait. Yeah, spell that. Yeah, got the spelling wrong again.
Oh, did he? Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I know, you know that old bullshit, I before the E, except after C, when it don't apply to my name. It is I before the E, and it has got a C in front of it. But it's Irish, what do you expect?
Yeah, I always spell it right, though, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and so does Russ. He always gets it right as well.
Yeah, he knows. He knows.
Yeah, he knows better than to fuck up, doesn't he? Aquam says, we were linked with Poster, no clue, Amorim and Potter. Just need to look at how they are doing, see that we don't pick managers well.
Look, Amorim and Poster are good coaches, mate. But there you go, look at Amorim and the fucking even Wolves done them the other day. Yeah. I mean, he's a fucking disaster at Man United, but he's a fucking top coach. So, but as was Ten Hag, who went there before him. You know, that's just Man United.
Yeah.
It's easy to keep blaming the fucking manager all the time.
Aquam's laughing his head off about Welbeck being 62.
Yeah. It just seems like all my life I've seen him.
Yeah. Cookie says, don't give Sully ideas, Kieran. And Mark thinks that he's 35.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. You know, when you said 32, I thought he might be older than that. Boy, but he's got 9 goals this season in the Premier League. Same as Bowen.
Yeah. So far with Potter, Budgie and Cieran, what does Potter have to do to convince you that he can change West Ham's fortunes?
Fuck off. just throw the fucking keys in the fucking door and walk out. That's what.
And my reply is what he said. What he said. That man.
I think he could turn it round, Randy. He could, but like I said, I'm a sort of got a confirmation bias here because I didn't want the fucker. Yeah. And now I'm just, I didn't want to be right either. I wanted to be wrong. I wanted this guy to fucking shine, and yeah, he's not.
Yeah, usual. You're right. So much hopeful anticipation before the season. It's been a failure, hasn't it? It has indeed.
When you had all them donut pundits and that saying we've won the fucking transfer window and all that, it's not looking like that now, is it? No. But they're the experts. They know.
Yeah.
I didn't think we won anything.
Actually, a really sound comment. Welbeck has found a club that suits him. He doesn't let them down. And they don't
absolutely. It gives his all, man. He's sharp. And he's sharp, and he knows how to sniff out a goal, too, man. He's a good boy. I like seeing him doing well at his age, man. Because
Akram's our age group, obviously. Look here, and he says he turned 62 last weekend. So happy birthday, Akram. He reckons he can knock a few goals in. Look, he's got it right this time. Look, Cieran, we'll be there for the pre-match drink. 35 in November.
Fucking hell, mate.
So yeah, it's a 3 p.m. kickoff. So where are you going, Rich? Because I'm only like 25 miles away from Brighton Town Centre. So last time when I met up with Bose and Happy Amaret and all them lot, we met at the Weatherspoons just down from the station, same bit of road on the way down towards the.
Do you know? I can't remember. What was it? The old ground they had. I can't remember if I ever went to Brighton with West Ham. Back in the day. It was at the other stadium, wasn't it? But I can't remember ever going there, to be honest. But I hear it's a good day out at Brighton. So.
Yeah.
Rich, hopefully have a good day with the crowd out of Hornchurch. Should be good. Usually good value, man. The ones I went with were fucking nutcases. I know them all. Still do. Still see them. Last time I was back in Hornchurch, I came over a couple of years ago, bud. See you.
Yeah. Well, you went and met up with Russ.
Still mental games.
Yeah. Didn't you go and meet up with Russ and that lot in Hornchurch? Wasn't that when you met up with Russ?
Yeah, Russ. Yeah, Russ turned up at a restaurant type place we were at, diner, whatever you call it. Yeah, I had a chat with Russ and saw him. But, they're all still fucking mental games. And they're 60-odd years of age and crazy as fuck.
1991, Keith Hackett. I had that erased from his memory, he says. Cheers, Cieran.
Yeah. Are you all right, mate? Yeah, it was a fucker, wasn't it?
And then Neil says, we got done by that knob, Keith Hackett.
The sending off it was too. Yeah. It fucked the whole game for us, Was that Cloughie in charge of Forest then? I don't know, was it? I think it was. I think it was Brian Cloughton in charge of Forest.
Frog says he firmly believes that this club is pissing in the wind without a director of football because Potter apparently has a system he wants to implement. And the people writing the checks have their system, no plan. Yeah. At least we're not hearing trust the process, are we?
Sorry, mate.
I said, at least we're not hearing trust the process from anyone.
Oh, no, that's a good one there. That always works, doesn't it, that process?
Mark says he'd still be the best player on the pitch, which was in answer to Cookie Hammer saying Di Canio offered Potter to sign him. He said he could manage the last 10 minutes. And Mark says he'd still be the best player on the pitch. I wouldn't mind betting he would. I know that Di Canio used to impress the players a lot when he was coaching them. Apparently, they all used to say, "How the fuck do you want us to do that, Gaffer? We ain't got that in our locker."
Yeah. The Canio standards are a little bit higher than what he was managing. But he's a fucking lunatic. Fuck me. As a manager, he's mental.
We wouldn't have half of the fucking prima donnas we've got now, though, if he was coaching us, would we?
Yeah.
You know, Paqueta wouldn't have such bandy legs and such weak knees and, you know, such an affinity with the grass.
Yeah, but he wins a lot of important free kicks doing it, Geezer. Like I said to you before, Noble used to do that really smartly. I just think Noble was less obvious doing it. And he used to win free kicks all the time. I think Paqueta does that as part of his game. He's a Brazilian. That's what
Mark
they do.
says an on-board toilet is just a hole in the floor. Actually, the emergency exit used to open the right way so you could.
Didn't that used to be, the trains used to be that, didn't they? They used to do that, just drop the shit on the fucking track as they went.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Not anymore, Shad.
Oi, oi, Anthony Herbert's in the house. Good evening, sir. Big up.
Right, mate, another draw, sir. Another fucking draw. Oh, that draw specialist.
Fresh Builder says it's not unusual. I said they might have gone to see Tom Jones or something.
Tom Jones, he's here.
He said it's not unusual. They go and see him all the time. Anthony Herbert, all right, Anthony, sorry for my outburst. He says, oh, hang on, I'll skip over that one. Outburst? Yeah. Cieran, oh, look, he spelled it completely wrong. It's Cieran. Do the police in Australia have guns, walk in the streets?
Oh, yeah. All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them.
Obviously, they don't hear. He says, well, Daz, he knows that he's from East Ham, and
no, they've got a taser. Oh, mate, you want to see the coppers here? The kit they've got around the fucking belt for fucking hell, man. They have a bad back at the end of the day, but they've got a taser and a gun. The taser is always on their left hip, and the gun's always on their right, so they know not to get mixed up because that's happened before in America. I don't know if you see that woman copper who pulled out her gun instead of the taser and shouted, I'm going to tase him, and then bang, 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 shot the fuck up, killed him. Terrible thing. But yeah, they've got all the gear. Even security guards here, Geezer, can be wearing guns. You know what I mean? That's why you don't get many. You know, you used to get the hold-ups of the old armoured trucks. You don't get there. There's security guards on them have got guns. So, it doesn't happen.
Iron Disciples in the house. Good evening, Iron. When the kids are united, they can never be divided. Absolutely right, mate. And if you caught us at the beginning of the show, I did play a little clip.
Do you know, Geezer, I went to when you done that Sham 69, I brought a memory back straight away because of Jimmy Percy, right? I went to that Rock Against Racism concert. It was a march from fucking Trafalgar Square in 1977, and went to Victoria Park, you know, in Hackney.
I remember.
Went to Victoria Park, and oh man, what a day that was! They didn't expect anyone to turn up for it. It was 80,000 people there.
80,000, yeah.
And Jim, it was the Clash. It was Tom Robinson. It was Steel Pulse, right? The reggae band.
Yeah, I remember.
And Jimmy Percy. I think it was the Clash. Jimmy Percy performed with the Clash. White Riot. They done White Riot. The place went fucking mental. Steel Pulse was brilliant as well. Yeah. Great reggae band, I thought at the time. Yeah. Tom Robinson was that thing if you're glad to be gay. Bit dodgy, bit progressive, but you know, everyone their own. And there's a geezer, right, there was a punk. Well, you know, it was the punk era. It was the beginning of punk. And the geezer called Patrick Fitzgerald, right? And he sang a song called I've Got a Safety Pin Stuck in My Heart for you. And and he was just standing on the stage with a guitar, right? And he must have about 50,000 bottles come out his head. I thought he was shit, waiting for the Clash and Percy. And poor fucker had to walk off the stage screaming at the audience.
And just for you and in Iron Disciple, I'm going to play the beginning bit of that intro video one more time, quickly. There you go. All right. He buggered off. Look, I did that for him and he's buggered off. He's probably going to go and get a safety pin for his nose or something. Let's get back into the chat.
I heard it.
Good. Did you hear me comment about the safety pin? He's gone, look. I said he's probably gone to get a safety pin for his nose or something. Right, so what have we got here? Dad says we haven't got a captain at West Ham. I beg to differ, mate. I think we've got a few. But I don't think we've got the right one wearing the armband. I do hate to say it because I love Jarrod Bowen with a passion. But I don't think he's a captain. I really don't.
No, but like I said, I give them reason not to take it off him because I think it'd be bad for him. But what I did notice, what's the name? I thought I'd seen it and I wasn't sure. And then Gonzo confirmed it the other day that when Matey went off, when Bowen went off, they gave the captain armband to Kilman and not Soucek.
Yeah.
I thought that was telling. I went, oh.
Yeah.
That could mean
I think
Soucek is going to re-establish himself with Moyes. That's what I read that.
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of been on the cards since the moment Moyes got the job.
I know, but it's lots of rumours and crap. But I just, I think he is a captain, Soucek. He is a captain. He's captain for the national team.
Definitely. Soucek's
he leads by example.
Look at
he
the
ain't
way
the best player, but he leads by example.
He turns and and like has a go at people when they're not doing the right stuff and that. He turns on them, mate. You can see him do it on the pitch. Iron Disciple said, watching West Ham, I'm assuming, feels like it's watching The Long Good Friday, and they are Harold Shand, who gets fucked in the end. That's one of my favourite films. I've sat and
it's up there, goes right. Yeah. Great film.
I sat and chatted in a pub down in Stenning with Bob Hoskins. I sat and chatted with him and his wife one evening.
Yeah, well, mate, he's what is his name? He's a big offsider, the big lump.
What the guy that he's the film based on?
He ended up being in. Is it in Lock, Stock, Harry the Hatchet? Him.
Oh yeah, the one Razors.
Yeah, Razors. Well, I met him a few times, had a drink with him because when I used to drink over South London and all them.
Yeah,
sort of East South London crims I used to drink with. He used to be there, mate. He knew everyone, and he was a bit of a boy himself. And he was a nice bloke though. Moriarty, I think his name is something like that. It was it was a good geezer. Right. But he was good in it, Razors. Saw him out Razors.
Yeah. Razors.
Cutting razors, isn't it?
Cutting razors. Yeah, I love it. One of my favourite all-time films.
It was a great film, wasn't it? It was quite a low-budget film when you watch it, but it was a great film.
Well, yeah.
If you watch it back now, you think, it's a bit low-budget, but it's so many good characters in it.
It weren't so low a budget, though, that they couldn't blow up a Rolls-Royce.
Yeah, well, yeah. They weren't worth much. No one can afford one, so they just found an old one.
Yeah.
What was it? What was it? You said it last week, that line, have you seen my Eric's fucking arsehole passing by the window?
Here, you didn't happen to see anything of my Eric fly past your window this afternoon, did you? And then he goes on to go, he goes, someone's been playing Guy Fawkes in the Lido. No, what was it? A Guy Fawkes with me roller and a touch of Jaws in the Lido. You know, when his mate Colin gets stabbed up by Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan, that is, isn't it? Yeah. It was Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, it was weird, huh?
He plays the part of the guy that pretends to be gay and then stabs up his gay mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, yes. Great film, man. It was good.
Oh, Mark says he hates to say it, but he thinks Bowen's played his last game for England. I'd love to know what your feelings on that are based on, mate, because I don't think he's done himself any harm when he's played for England. I think he's given Tuchel something to think about.
See, I've always thought that I don't want to say he's played his last game, but if you put an England team together, Bowen doesn't get in it. Can he get in the squad? Yeah. Like, you got a 30-man squad or whatever. Yeah, he'll be in it. But he had a first team 11. Bowen doesn't cut it for me. But I've always thought that. As much as I think he's a really top player, but
whereas for me,
at that level,
Saka.
Saka beats him every time.
No, not for me. Not for me.
Oh, not a chance. Bowen doesn't get in front of Saka. Not a chance.
Do you know that with, I think it was 2 games less, like, who was it that checked it? Tony, I believe it was, checked it. No, it was, I'll tell you who it was a guy called Tel Cockerell, right? He's a Tottenham creator. And he was on with Tony at the weekend, yeah? And I said, I wouldn't mind betting. Now, this was I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but this was more or less what I said. I said, I wouldn't mind betting that this season, Bowen's stats are as good as Saka's, if not better. That was my words, right?
Whoa.
So,
he had about 2 months off, Saka, fucking with a torn hamstring.
Right. Saka has played 2 more games than Bowen has, right? And he's scored 1 more goal than Bowen. He's made 10 more assists than Bowen.
And there lies the fucking difference.
Right, exactly.
10 more assists.
I wouldn't mind betting that Bowen, had he have played those other 2 games that Saka had,
he's going to get 10 assists.
No, but he might have got maybe 2 goals in them 2 games.
No.
So
you might be right. I'm not saying
his stats.
I don't think it's just based on stats. You can look at the stats and whatever way you want to read them. But at the end of the day, Saka's a better player. Saka creates more. Especially with his assists. You know what I mean? He creates more. He's potentially going to score more. I think he's quicker than Bowen. I think he's a better player. That's why I don't see. And I think there's others coming up behind Bowen as well to be in that spot. So I think could he be in the England squad? Yeah. But do I see him as a first? No.
Frogging a well.
But we'll see. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. I'd love to see him now down that position. I'd love to see it. I don't.
Randy says, I hope Macaulay can do it. I really do. And I think
I think we're all hoping that, Randy, the only trouble with that, Randy, I think he's a boy that can identify the players he needs. And then we got, as I said before, the cocksmoker has to fucking get it over the line. Yeah. And that's the problem.
Mark,
not Macaulay.
Shine like a star. That was Aswad, mate. Shine like a star. Yeah, that was Aswad. Sure of it.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah. The bands you mentioned, which was Still Pulse.
Handworth Revolution, and that was the album, wasn't it?
Can.
Ku Klux Klan was one of my favourite tracks at the time.
Yeah.
It was so
Soldiers, good. That was another one.
Brilliant. They were a great reggae band, man. Where were they at? Birmingham? Yeah, right, Birmingham, weren't they? Handsworth, yeah, of course. They were at Birmingham.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah. Damien says he likes his accent, Danny Welbeck's. Right, Randy saying, Budgie and Cieran, I suppose I should ask you this. If Potter does fail at West Ham and does not convince fans he was the right choice, who would you both want to be his replacement if he doesn't work out? Randy, you ask us this on a weekly basis, mate, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't.
And right now, I mean, look, the only man I want at this club, the only man that I want at this club is unavailable. He's probably unreachable, and that is Carlo Ancelotti. He's, for me, the man. He is the man to come in and turn this club right around. But, like, it's kind of, that's pie in the sky. That's never going to happen. So, who would I want to come in? Will Still, I suppose. I think.
Doesn't. I'll tell you who I wanted before we got Pellegrini. And it was Ten Hag. I used to watch Ajax then quite a bit for some reason. And their football was amazing. And then he went to Man United. And as they all do, all these managers go to Man United, go to shit, right? I'd go and grab him. But I say, we're not changing managers, so that's it. Not for at least 6 months anyway. 6 months time, we might be reviewing it, but we'll see.
Cook has come up with a reasonable point here. Look, he says, Cieran, you said not many years left. I got a feeling that Sully feels the same, and he's going to sell and buy big for now. That's why he's taken charge. Just throwing it out there. So you think that?
Well, Cookie, you fucking might be right, Goose. He still wants to play football manager, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, the thing is, he hasn't been shy in putting his hand in his pocket so far over the last couple of seasons.
No.
So,
but he wants to be a part of it. This is the problem, Gazy. He's not just an owner that sits back and owns the club, runs the club to make it financial and leave it to the experts. He wants to be part of it, Gazy. Yeah. And if it's true that Aaron Wan-Bissaka was his choice and through his mate Salthouse, right? If that's true, well, that would have employed him to go, you fuck, see, I can still do it. I'll do it next year. I'll sort these fuckers out.
If that is the case, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because for me, he's probably been the best buy since.
Exactly. The worst thing that could happen, that's down to Sullivan. Yeah. Like the worst, because he's going to fucking think he's a fucking superstar fucking manager now, and who can pick any player and get it right. Oh, fuck me.
Mark says, Russ said by mistake yesterday, James Ward Potter.
Oh, mate, he's doing my fucking head in, press, Geezer. It really is, man. He could not get a slower man on the pitch. And it's just so negative, his thought process when he gets the ball. It's always never to go forward. And that's what we're lacking. That whole midfield is just so slow and not forward thinking.
Yeah. So just in response to Rich's comment, which is he's looked up the away pub for this weekend. I think it's the New Oak. That is probably true. It's quite close to the ground, I think. It's not too far from the ground. But a lot of people drink in Brighton itself rather than in Falmer, which is where the ground is.
Yeah.
And what they do is they drink in Brighton, then jump on a train. It's one stop to Falmer. Takes 4.5 minutes on the train. And you get off the station and you just walk straight along the promenade into the...
You like it there, Rich? I think that's one of them rainbow flag pubs. You'd be right there, son. Fuck, it's so
I have been to the stadium. I went there a couple of seasons back when we beat them 3-1, was it? 3-2? 3-1, I think it was. It's the only win we've had, and I happen to have been there. So I think
that was last season, Dave, when we first time we beat them for
it was the season
last season, I'm sure.
Season before.
Someone tell me in the comment, I'm sure it was last season that we beat them there. Wasn't that?
Season before, mate.
Okay.
I'm
arguing with you. Fuck you.
I met up with Richard and Jake down there.
Okay, yeah. I remember you going. I just thought it was last season.
Yeah. That was when I had that picture taken of me doing that in bloody crowd. That was good. That was at half time. Yeah, that was good. But
yeah, I'm probably wrong.
Daz, you're bang on right there, son. Smash the likes, people. We got 208 people watching. I don't know how many likes we've got at the moment, actually.
Well, about 10.
I can't tell. I can't tell how many likes we've got. I
just think people go, look, West Ham is shit, so you're not getting any likes. Fuckings.
I know how
it's our fault, guys.
Yeah. Right. Let me have a look on here. See how many people are watching on here. Look, and how many likes we got. Here we go. Let me have a look on here. See how many people. Oh, look, I'm repeating myself. It says there's 31 people actually in the chat. 33 likes. I'm going to give it another one. 34. So come on, people. 34 likes. I want 100 before we close. And we're closing in about half an hour.
More chance of getting a wank off the boat. Oh, he's gone in all. Can't do that one.
Went sweet, didn't he?
Poor old guy. Oh, well.
You do pick your moments, don't you, mister? Hey.
The Old Church Cricket Club. As usual. Sweet.
Yeah, nice. Been with them a couple of times, and I take my 15-year-old son. He loves it. Brilliant. Look, do you want me, Rich? Do you want me to find out what the pub is going to be with the older lads? You know, our generation lads, the people I, usually drink, the Carpenters lot. Do you want to know where they're going to be?
Fuck me, you don't want to be near that lot. Fuck's sake.
Not?
They're fucking weird.
Don't take someone to the Bowen back in the day.
I never went there, Gozer. I used to drink down at Green Street, right, in the Duke of Edinburgh, or I'd be in the East Ham Workmen's Club before a game. I wouldn't go to the Bowen. It's full of fucking idiots.
Yeah, well, it's
people find fucking beer over each other. Fuck that lot.
It's full of us lot from out of town. That that's where we all got in because we knew that a few West Ham fans got in there.
Yeah, I never liked the bowling, but then again, back in them days, you remember, all the breweries. There was certain, beer I liked that I wouldn't go to a pub that was a different brewery because they wouldn't have it. So, but I used to drink in the Duke of Edinburgh and all the East Ham Workies. My fucking brother was on the board there, and he used to live in the flats right next to the East Ham Workmen's Club, which is another iconic thing that's gone now, isn't it? Been knocked down.
Yeah. So I saw a post. So the block of flats that have now taken the place of Upton Park Stadium. Sorry, the Bowen Stadium. Apparently, there's a patch of grass in amongst that complex, and in the patch of grass is the centre circle.
Supposedly,
yeah, it ain't a very good centre circle. Yeah, it ain't even a circle.
I've seen it, geezer. I've seen a couple of geezers on YouTube. I actually went there and saw it myself when I was there. But it's just a round circle of a planter, and it's full of grass and a few plants. And apparently, they think it's the centre circle. It's the only thing they can. They're not 100% sure either, because it is quite confusing when you walk in there.
Yeah,
it
doesn't take any of the shape of the stadium at all. It's completely different layout.
No, nothing. No. It's a fucking housing estate, guys. That's what it is. Means nothing. Jesus, I spent a lot of money on that Bowen pub, though, guys. I spent £1 million on that to do it up. Yeah. They've done a nice job on it inside, really ripped it out and done it all again. Yeah. They've really done a smart fit out on it. Spent £1 million on doing it. So I was surprised. So that's not going anywhere for a while.
He gets pissed when they go to the games and his son tells him what's happened in the game. Good way of going about it, mate, I reckon. Budgie and Cieran, trust the process, says Anthony. A coach that gets the club would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think
I
that's
agree with
pretty much.
And you know what? Even though this time last year, probably I was saying no, I wouldn't have him at the club yet. I think he's experienced enough. I think Scott Parker might be a decent shout.
Mate, he's got 3 teams promoted from the Championship. He's got to have something about it. Every time he's gone into the Premier League, though, he's had a fucking bit of a disaster.
Yeah,
but
because you've taken promoted clubs into the Premier League. That's why. But if you give him an established Premier League club like West Ham, like
you never know,
like Crystal Palace, any of us sort of best of the rest, or mediocre teams, I reckon Scotty Parker would do a better job than anyone would imagine. I think
he might.
The right kind of players. He done really
it's always
well
a gamble
for a while. He done really well with Fulham for a while. He had them in the top half of the table for the first 8-10 weeks of the season, and then they started getting hammered. But yeah,
it's always best when if you've got. He doesn't come across that likable though, Parker. And I've always said this about West Ham. It's better for the fans if you like the coach for one. It's like Bilic. Everyone loved him, right? Gianfranco Zola, or whatever. But regardless of what it helps. I don't think everyone really took to Moyes. I don't think anyone took to Lopetegui. He couldn't even listen to the press conference. And I think the same's going on with Potter. He's not. Yeah. I can't be bothered to listen to what he's got to say now on a press conference. I just think it's all.
Somebody in the comments earlier, I noticed, said, with Potter's press conferences, it's just copy, paste, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking dull. And I don't bother watching it.
It was refreshing when he first came in. I thought I liked what he was saying. But
you're saying the right things at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. Cookie says he took his son on a stadium tour with Tony Cotty this week. Said went to Forest, red hot day, changing room, radiators up, full knob removed, windows screwed shut with a big pot of hot tea at half time. Lost 3-0, Brian Clough. So, yeah, when they went to Forest on a red hot day, Brian Clough had all the changing room windows screwed shut. He had all the radiators turned up full and the knobs removed, and a big pot of hot tea at half time. That was really all over, mate. That's the sort of shit he would do. Brilliant. Oh, great.
There you go.
The great Jimmy Percy. The under-18s, Iron says, yes, mate. They were brilliant last night, and Ajala got himself a brace. As I said, the first goal was a happy accident, but, doesn't matter how they come, as long as they end up in the back of that bloody onion bag.
Yeah. And Tony will have a brace next year.
Yeah.
Captain Pugwash. It's a memory, isn't it?
Yeah, Jimmy Percy's from Hersham, but we'll forgive him. Yeah, well,
they had a song about Hersham, didn't they? Hersham Boys,
yeah, Hersham Boys, yeah. And because I live right next to Horsham, all the skinheads in Horsham used to sing Horsham Boys.
Right.
Till they got beat up. So look, they've got some. Good evening, James. Thank you for joining.
And Mr. Lamprey.
Yeah, they've got some suggestions for next year's captain, right? Captain Pugwash, as usual.
He'll do.
And then he says,
that was great. That was great. That was better than the Magic Roundabout, that.
Yeah. Seaman Staines and...
Yeah, it was funny, man.
Brilliant. Yeah. Dad says, sorry for spelling your name wrong, Cieran, mate.
That's all right, yes. All good, brother. All good, Dad.
Now, that would be a good shout, Damien, I must admit. Can still bring Andy Diff. He's a great player.
Yeah, fuck him still. This shit.
Yeah, here's another suggestion for a captain. Captain Kirk. Good night, Damien. Thanks, mate. Thanks for your comments as usual, buddy.
See you, Damien, sir.
Bit of respect here, I think, Razors.
Yeah, that was it, Rich. That was it. Well, that when you're slicing him across the arse with the machete.
Yeah.
Fucking outrageous.
He goes, Harold, I don't fucking know. Cut him, Razors. Captain of our heart. Oh my goodness, mate. Ian says, "What, you guys met those dudes?" Yes, we have, mate. Bob Hoskins played a better American sleuth than most American actors. Yeah, he was almost Capone in The Untouchables. Absolutely, he casted De Niro, sent Hoskins $200,000. I never knew that. That. So he nearly got the part as Al Capone in The Untouchables with Kevin Costner.
Oh,
but
really?
Brian De Palma, the director, he called him and said, "Look, I've casted Robert De Niro," and sent Bob Hoskins $200,000 as a sorry.
Oh, that's interesting. That's true.
I'm kind of reading between and after, but that's what I'm assuming that means. That's pretty decent of him, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, here's another suggestion. Captain Scarlet. Fucking hell.
Fucking hell, that was. Loved that as a kid.
Rigging in the rigging. Who did that? That was Jasper Carrot.
There was Sparkle. That was the Pistols, wasn't it?
Was it Pistols?
Yeah, frigging in the rigging.
Yeah. So Iron's going on to say, he said, Hoskins got a letter. Here's 200K. Thank you for your time, Mr. Hoskins. And Bob told him, if you need someone that you don't want to cast for a part, call me. So he sent him 200K as a thank you for your time.
Fuck, mate.
And then Bob replied saying, if you need someone that you don't want to cast for a part, call me.
Okay, no, he done all right out of that game. Fuck, I hope that's true.
Thanks, Ian. That's a brilliant story. Love that.
Yeah.
Having met the guy, that actually makes complete sense that Bob would reply like that.
Because, mate, he used the Scouser that's just done that big thing on Netflix. Stephen Graham, isn't it? He played Al Capone in that series in America that I watched. I loved it. He played Capone really good, isn't it? Really good. Good with accents.
Tom Hardy's just done a dramatization of Al Capone's last year of his life after he got released from Alcatraz or whatever jail he'd gone to after Alcatraz. And it's called Capone. It's quite unusual because you're looking at Al Capone's final year through his madness. Because you got to remember, he had syphilis when he contracted.
He had syphilis. Yeah, he was dying of syphilis, wasn't he?
15 years old, he contracted that, and he died at 47.
Yeah, lovely ending to life, wasn't it?
Or 57, might have been 57. But yeah, he went for all them years of having syphilis in his system, and it drives you mad.
Yeah.
What players would we get rid of?
All of them, Des.
Well, most of them. There is a core little collection that I would keep. I would still keep Emerson. I'd definitely keep Scholes. I would definitely keep Saka. I would definitely keep Bowen. and I would definitely keep Caduce if I could. And Somerville. You know, anyone else?
I still keep Kilman and Tadebo because I know we can't replace them that easily. So but
see,
I think, regardless, I think there's at least 8 you need to unload at West Ham. At least 8, and then it's just about replacing them.
Frog says, I'd rather have Bowen on a windy day. Basically, backing up what I said about him being a stronger player than Saka.
Frog, you're wrong there. Saka's fucking far better. Do you know, I heard one of the commentators say the other day, I know it was, said about when he tore his hamstring, Saka, this season, he went and got the operation. And it's the same fucking thing, operation apparently, as Somerville. Now, Saka's back playing, going to a Champions League semi-final. But Somerville refused the operation because he wants it to heal naturally. And obviously he's out for all season. And I'm not going to knock Somerville for that, right? Because I was classed as an anti-vaxxer, right? I never took a vaccine. I never wanted to. I was never going to. As much as pressure we were put under here by the Australian government and everyone else, I said, no, right? I'm not taking it. I'm not putting it in my body. So I'm not going to knock Somerville for not wanting an operation that you don't feel comfortable with. But I'm just saying that comparison of Saka, he's been out for months, he's back, now he's into it again. Well, we've got to suffer Somerville too. If we're lucky, I suppose he might start next season. There you go. You're smiling. Someone's slagging me up here.
No, this is brilliant. For 10 years there's been peace. Everyone to his own patch. I treated you well, even when you was out of order, right? And then he says, I love it when the guy comes over delivering liver shots to the poor guy hanging upside down. Yeah. Great film.
That was a great little... Oh, and that was a great little monologue, wasn't it? When he had them all fucking hanging from the butcher's hooks, wasn't it? All the butcher's hooks, mate.
Yeah. He goes, give him 50k or give him 10k.
Fuck them off.
Come up, Captain Hook. Nice Maxi Priest, he was good. He still is, actually.
I like Maxi. I like Maxi Priest. Good value,
Mark Pendleton, Ancelotti and Sullivan pissing himself out.
That'll go well, wouldn't
it? Yeah. Iron says, Hoskins and Ray Winston, my 2 favourites. Ray is an Iron supporter. Yes, indeed he is. And believe it or not, Bob Hoskins was a Charlton Athletic supporter.
Really?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He told me that because I said to him, you're one of the great, Cockney actors and all that. I said, so obviously you support West Ham. He said, actually, no, son, I don't. I support Charlton Athletic and I'm proud of it. And I went, fair play to you, mate.
No, because I told you before, bud.
Hang on.
I was lucky. I knew somebody. Forget, right in the heyday of West Ham. And we knew some girl that she was part of the fucking theatres or whatever, or acting. Yeah. Forget who she was. But she gave us tickets to the premiere of Scum. And I think it was in the Prince Charles Theatre up the West End.
Right.
And we went to see this film, Scum. We knew nothing about it. And fucking hell. Frightened. That's the first time I saw Ray Winston in this thing. He was at the premiere, as well. And that film shocked and frightened the fuck out of me. It really did. I think we must have been only about 18 at the time. I can't remember what year it came out. I'm guessing late 70s, right? But and I couldn't believe how good that film was and how shocking it was at the time. Ray Winston in that, but that sort of made his name, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah. That and then his appearances in The Sweeney and Minder and all those sorts of things. So, but when I was chatting with Bob Hoskins that time and he was telling me about him being a Charlton supporter, his missus sat down. He went, "This dopey cow's in Norwich." He's hilarious, mate. He was fucking hilarious. Wouldn't let me buy a drink all evening. In the end, I had to just, I've got to go to the toilet, mate. Be back in a minute, and then come back with a round of drinks because he just wouldn't let me get a drink. He kept sending her up to the bar.
Yeah, now you're talking. He's a real man.
Proper. You know what I mean? What a nice guy, though. I'm in the phone box. It's the one across the hall.
Another line.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Can't think what film it's from. But yeah. Blondie used to make Captain Rodney very angry in the 1970s. Okay. Yeah. Right. Thomas Frank is realistic option, Frog, but it depends if fans would enjoy his style of football, as he is more counter-attacking manager. But would be interesting, but certainly will be linked to Spurs. But my response to that, Randy, would be Thomas Frank's a manager I think most fans would get on board with. We're kind of used to the counter-attacking football anyway. We've had it with Moyes. It kind of rinse and repeat again. Although we're not doing much of the counter-attacking at the moment. We were attacking more under Lopetegui than we are now, I think.
Yeah. Attacking more, conceding more. I just find it a mute point, the manager thing. We know we're stuck with him, right? Whether you want him or not. So I didn't want him at the beginning. Now I'm fucking wanting him even less. But we're stuck with him till however months it is into next season. If he's fucking good up till next Christmas, then he's here for the duration of his contract.
Yeah.
A new manager is not even an option. He'll be here.
Usual goes to this pub in Brighton. Look, the shirt lifter's arms.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, Brendan. Yeah, it was last year.
Fucking told you. Brendan, is that me? Yeah, I'm fucking know, sir.
I just remember being there. I didn't think it was last season. I thought it was the season before.
I didn't know for sure, guys, to be honest. I just thought it was.
Then I have had a couple of sleeps and a few pints since then.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw The Firm with Gary Oldman. Brilliant film.
Yeah.
Again. He was 8 years old. It was 3 a.m. and on PBS, I would be up as a kid thinking it's the Hackman cruise film. Laugh out loud. Oh, right, yeah.
You're 8, guys. You should be watching The Firm when you're fucking 8. I'll tell you that now. Fucking question your parenting. Fucking hell. But that was another low budget film with Gary Oldman that was fucking shocking as well. And cracking film.
Rich,
really was.
Don't be fooled by that, mate. It ain't going to be proper pie and mash, is it? Come on, it's Brighton. They're just doing it to appease the West Ham fans. There ain't going to be no liquor with it. It'll be gravy. And they'll go, do you want mash or chips? And it won't be very nice pies. You know?
Yeah.
If you're lucky, if you're really, really lucky, you might get a one of those, what do they call it, pies? One of them nice ones. I don't even remember what they call them now. Anyway, try and hit the like. It's not catching it. Come on, Ian. Let's have it. And everyone else, hit the like button. Milos says, good evening, Milos. Just arrived. Look.
Milos.
What's the result going to be on Saturday against Brighton? I got a feeling it's another loss.
I'm going to put my neck out for a draw, Gazer. A 1-1 draw. A 1-1 draw. I think, we'll get a draw out of them.
But okay.
But am I confident of that? Not really, son. But
Cookie says, "Come on, you thumbless wankers, hit the likes."
yeah, fucking hell, Cookie, sort them out, son. Whatever it is.
Yeah. Iron Hornchurch Mafia.
Fucking hell.
The rear
I know the Hornchurch Mafia are, mate. I fucking drink with them every time I go.
Yeah. Another pub from usual, the Rear Admiral. The Chutney Ferret. Whoever that might be. Haven't been in the Boiling Pub for years. What's the Boiling Pub?
A mate of mine, Rich is from Old Church. All the boys out of Old Church there. He owns a wine bar in Old Church, and a nightclub, and an Indian restaurant underneath it. Yeah. I daren't say his name, but
Rich says we just get off the coach and follow the crowd. Nottingham, Manchester, Liverpool, don't matter. We're West Ham.
You know, it used to matter when I went to Manchester and Liverpool. Cookie, fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, they were all trying to kill us.
How are we both feeling towards the Brighton game after what's just happened in the Southampton game? Don't think there is any optimism, but Brighton might feel the same about us. Well, listen, like I said, before, Brighton are a team that we've struggled against historically. We've had one win in 19 games, I think it is.
You got to remember, Potter might be going, shit, I want to win this.
Yeah,
I want to win this.
Yeah. He might
you might be keen.
Then again, he might go, I can't be fucking bothered with this one.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's try and get a point.
Yeah. But, let's go and not lose. But listen, as far as I'm concerned, I ain't got no optimism at the moment.
No, I don't think many fans have, Gazer. I mean, but the trouble is, the more negative we all get about it, the more negative it is. And I found that on a few YouTube channels after this Southampton game. I mean, some have gone over the top with it. Jesus Christ! Just take a breath. Take a breath and go, right,
exactly that, I'm kind of sick of
because we know the rest of this season is fucking pointless. But it would be nice to end on a bit of positivity with the performances. And sometimes, like I say, you look at the likes of Amorim and Postecoglou, fucking, they've had disastrous seasons in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Now, lucky enough for Postecoglou, he's still hanging on to a semi-final in Europa League.
Yeah.
Well, and then you've got to say, if he could go and win that, then has it been a good season? No, it's a bit like when we won our cup. We were terrible in that Premier League, but we went and won a trophy.
Yeah.
Do they still want to sack him? Because most West Ham fans wanted Moyes sacked after that trophy, even though he'd won it. Leave on a high.
Yeah.
And they'll probably do the same at Postecoglou, but he might not get to win it, but we did. But we gave Moyes another season, and it was shit as well.
Yeah.
So,
Frog says, Budgie, one of the reasons stopping development at Upton Park was height restrictions. And then they go and stick a block of flats there. Stroke. I think you'll find it was West Ham clips that started off the phrase, as far as YouTube channels are concerned anyway. Only at West Ham.
Yeah. Only at West Ham, mate. Only at West Ham.
Have we ever been in the Abbey Arms? I haven't, no, even though That's the pub that kind of that makes appearances in Green Street, the movie, which is where I got my channel name from.
I have been in the Abbey Arms. I'm just trying to place it, Des. Right? Was that the Abbey Arms? Was that on Catherine Road, or was it on East Ham High Street, North? I could be getting mixed up with two different pubs, the Abbey, but I have been in there. I know it well, but I can't place it now. But there you go. Can't remember exactly where it was.
Yeah, Parker was the one who stood up and gave the famous halftime speech. Yeah. Rich says Clough was brilliant. Sorry, I was going to go back to this one. If I was positive, last, I would go 1-0 to us. But as a negative opinion on the game, I think 1-0 to Brighton. But with what we are watching right now, our record at Brighton, apart from last season, is poor, and it is. And that's what worries me the most. Rich says Clough was brilliant. I agree with that. Absolutely 100%. Ings got himself a brace from the dentist. He got himself a brace in his first game, didn't he? Who was that against? That was against Southampton, wasn't it? I think. Can't remember now.
Hasn't really worked, has it?
No. Not to bring in the old septic tank. I'm premiere a live cast on my channel for the Tony Soprano Cup in East Rutherford, New Jersey. West Ham versus Man United stateside. It's right in my backyard. Nice.
Well done.
Nice. Let us know how that goes. Yes. I'll tune into that. All are welcome to see the septic tank flushing out, baby. One Cloughie's played got knocked out on the pitch once. One of Cloughie's players got knocked out on the pitch once. When he came round, he didn't know his own name. Cloughie to the physio to tell him he was Pele and get him back on.
Yeah, I remember that quote, Mark. Funny as fuck, isn't it?
Yeah, he's probably told that story a few times, hasn't
he? Yeah, I remember that.
Who is it? One of his players he called Jigsaw. He says, Jigsaw. And he goes, boss, why are you calling me Jigsaw? He says, because every time the ball goes in the box, you fall apart, son. Or every time we're in the box, you fall apart. Something like that.
Yeah, he was so outrageous with some of his comments as well. That's why they never viewed him as an England manager. He should have been the England manager, but they wouldn't let it because he was a bit too outrageous with some of the things he said.
Yeah. The Beacon Tree Skins in the 70s in Dagenham. Yeah.
Well, Becontree.
Oh, Becontree, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. I'm an out-of-towner.
He is.
I am. I don't actually. I've never lived in London, really.
No, yeah, but that's more Becontree, more Essex, but yeah.
Yeah, well.
I spent a lot of time between East London and Essex and South London, so you were on the other side of town, didn't you?
Yeah, what part of South London?
I was in Bermondsey for a while.
Oh, bandit country.
That was bandit country. Don't worry about that. Fucking, I met many bandits. Many bandits.
Jesus.
Some of them, some good cases though. I met a lot of good cases.
Poor old Duke, then, eh? He's got a fucking pub in Duke. He's got a pub in the High Street, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's definitely in bandit country. He quite often has Millwall fans coming in. He's got West Ham stuff up in there, and Mate, listen.
Yeah, I went there. Please, I popped in, didn't I?
They leave him alone, don't they? They leave him alone.
Is what it is nowadays. Yeah. And it might have been different fucking late 70s, guys, but it's a little bit not as bad these days.
No. In fact, like,
not as bad, but still.
There's a couple of lads over at my local pub that are staunch Millwall fans, and there's like one guy, he's sort of our age, and his son, and his son absolutely loves me to death. You know, his son's probably 30, 35, but absolutely loves me to death. Every time I go up over the pub and that, he'd walk round the pub to me and he'd come and say hello and shake my hand and that. He's really nice lad, you know. And people go, fucking hell, you're West Ham and he's Millwall. And like he come round and I go, yeah, well, you know, it's not like it was in the old days, you know, like we're not out hunting each other anymore. It doesn't happen. You know, might be a different story if we play each other, but at this moment in time, there's peace between the two. You know, and he's like, "Oh right,
yeah."
Okay.
Look, mate, you'd be amazed. Look, because I spent a bit of time over South London, you know, and that was in the bad days of West Ham Millwall when I was there.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised just how similar that the Millwall supporters are to West Ham supporters. That's what I got.
Imagine.
I became a good friend of a Millwall geezer there. It was one of their top geezers in a Millwall firm. And I remember Millwall coming to West Ham. And I met him on the Friday. I said, "You ain't going, are you?" And he went, "Yeah, I am." I went, "Oh, fuck." Right. I said, "Just be fucking."
He knew you was West Ham, yeah?
Yeah, he knew I was West Ham, yeah. We got on really well, man. A good geezer.
Yeah.
But he came.
Like me and Mitch.
It all kicked off. I see him on the Monday. He had a broken hand.
Oh, right.
he was in plaster on the Monday. Yeah. But,
yeah.
It's one of them.
Yeah, mate. One of them. I mean, we were daring as kids. I mean, I remember one time we went to, we wanted to go to a football match. We couldn't get to, I think it was Liverpool or Everton, one of the two. And we couldn't get up there. So me and my mate decided we wanted to watch a game anyway. So we went to watch Millwall play. Mate, that was a shuddering experience. Being in amongst them all. And at that time, it was, you know, during the time that there were a lot of troubles between the clubs.
Yeah.
And we went to go and watch the game. And I think they were playing QPR. And we were in what we thought was the away end, which it should have been. And then behind us, a load of fucking Millwall fans opened up. Ooh.
Mate, they're tough cunts. They're real tough balls.
Yeah, mate, tough as houses, mate. Ocean boys, laced up boots ankle to Roy's.
Yeah, great line, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, frigging in the rigging was the Pistols. Look up Bob Hoskins in the wrong Good Friday. No, it's the long Good Friday, not wrong. Who said wrong? Weren't me.
Maybe it's a parody.
Maybe.
Oh, the sun's out now, boy. Looking nice and hot on my back.
I can see it glowing through the trees there, mate. Right, listen, we've been going for just over 2 hours, so let's skip through to the bottom of the comments. Bloody hell, you lot are relentless. Here we go. Right.
You've got to say, you're better off talking about music than fucking anything else and films.
Yeah. Sean's obviously referring to Millwall.
Yeah, I know he is.
Cookie says that's because Millwall was this side of the Thames, Mill Docks, and West Ham was basically Essex until the bridge over the River Lee was built and Arsenal were near Charlton. Yeah, well, Arsenal were in Woolwich.
Yeah,
Woolwich. The other side of the Blackwall Tunnel to, the other side of the Blackwall Tunnel and the Rotherhithe Tunnel to where Millwall is, really, isn't it? You go through the Rotherhithe Tunnel.
Not far from the Rotherhithe, yeah. It's not far from the Rotherhithe.
Yeah.
I think it was near that it's still there, isn't it? That walk-through tunnel there at Greenwich. You could walk under the Thames to get to the other side. You still can, can't you? Walk down them spiral stairs, walk under, and come up the other side. Near Greenwich. That's they're over there, Woolwich Arsenal, which, where all the military were. And then, of course, Arsenal is South London side, mate.
Yeah, they are, really. Yeah, mate, they are, really. Wrong Good Friday on YouTube. I'll have that look.
Oh, really? Worth a look. I'd say it's a parody, I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, don't be serious now, Randy.
Yeah, no, we're gonna wrap things up now, mate. In Plasto, Kieran. He's got it wrong again.
Right. Fucking hell. I know the Abbey Arms well, geezer, but my memory days is I've been in there a few times. Just can't place it. Exactly where it was. There you go. So, but every pub that I've known, when I went back last time, every pub that I did know in Green Street, like White Hart, Duke of Edinburgh, all shut down. It's only the Bowen that have refurbed. All the pubs down Catherine Road are shut down. The ones on East Ham High Street have all shut down for obvious reasons, because nobody goes there anymore because the majority of people around there are Muslim and they don't drink. So all the pubs are gone.
Yeah. Iron Disciple says, what made it different? They loved having a row. The under fives gave them hell, I understand.
Yeah, they did go.
It is a parody, but it's brilliant, says Rich.
Right. Okay. I'll have to look that. I'll have to give that a look, Rich. Yeah.
Usual says the foot tunnel. Yeah.
The foot tunnel. That's the one.
Both West Ham and Millwall proper really enjoyed having a punch up. Says
they did one, mate. It was fucking mental.
Opposite the Castle pub in Plasto.
Right.
So
just fucking trying to fucking place it, man. I know it so well, but my memory's so bad.
Opposite corners, says Cookie.
Right. Fuck it, I know it.
Didn't they close that, Kieran? More leaks than a Welsh allotment.
No, I don't think the foot tunnel. I don't know, geezer. In the last few years, I might have done, but I saw a geezer doing a vlog about Greenwich and whatever, and he showed the foot tunnel about a year ago. So I don't know.
You will be pleased.
I've had that ferry over there many times across the water.
Me too. You will be pleased to know, Kieran, East Ham Working Men's Club is reopened.
You're fucking kidding me, Rich. I remember when they knocked it down. They apparently were going to reopen it, but then I heard. Because I say my brother was a part of that club, and then he lived across the road. He's passed away since. But then I heard that they weren't going to bother. It really has it reopened, Rich? Well, that's great. That's good. I'm fucking delighted. But that was really my fucking ritual. A lot of the games was going there before it. And like Phoenix Knights, guys. He had one of them cunts on the door. Oh, you can't go in. Not with them shoes on. Yeah. There was always one of them at the East Ham work. It's like that. So I'd have to call my brother out, right? Because he was part of the club.
Yeah.
You go, no, they're all right, mate. All right, then. A real fucking wanker on the door every time.
Next time, wear proper shoes, mate. After the season ends, what are you both planning to do when West Ham season is finished for time off?
Good question, Randy.
I'm going to be moving house, so that most of my time will be taken up doing that. What about you, Kieran? Avoiding
no plans goes up in the off season. I'd still like to do this once a week, like and we can
we will. What we'll do is
change the subject out of football and just talk about
we'll have music and food, and we'll get Charlie Walsh on, and we'll do a foodie. They're good when he gets on. You got to admit they are good. We'll get him on. And Cookie says no, that tunnel's still going. It's a national landmark.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I thought it was.
They probably sent a few lads under there with a trowel and a bucket of
just plug a couple of holes up.
He says Iron says he's talked to build a fortress keeper. He's really, really nice man. He really didn't bother no one, but wasn't one to be bothered. Yeah. Oh, right. He means
forest.
Yeah.
Keeper.
No, the fortress keeper. What's his name? No, not Knowlesy, is it? Is that Knowlesy? I don't know. No, it's not Knowlesy. Loads died building that foot tunnel, apparently, says Frog. Where am I moving to? Well, this will be my last move. So it's not going to be too far from where I am, because I've got my son living with me still, so I've got to consider him and his future as well, and he wants his future. No worries, mate. So I'm not going to be moving too far away, just to a smaller place, Sean. I've got a 3-bedroom house with a garage, and it's just too big for me. Costing me too much money, so downsizing to a 2-bed. Probably a ground floor flat if I can. I can't be bothered with stairs anymore at my age. Fucking hell. Longer Friday, before it's time. Redeveloping the Docklands, exactly that. That's when I used to walk to Greenwich through the tunnel every week and look at what they've done, developed it. Absolutely, mate. And that was what the story was about. He was trying to be the one that had his finger in all the pies of the development.
Yeah. And it happened after that, didn't it? Because I left the UK geezer just as they were starting Canary Wharf and all that development. I worked with my brother on Docklands there, setting up all the offices, right, for the development that was coming.
Yeah.
You know, they put all these buildings and porter cabins and shit that took some buildings over, and we were laying computer floors down, petitioning at the time, and it was all just for the setup of what was coming. And then I left for Australia, and then Canary Wharf happened.
Yeah.
And you go, and it was massive. I mean, it was ridiculous. There was massive development going on Liverpool Street and all of Canary Wharf, all the docks.
I remember.
And it went on for years, didn't it? Years.
Not too long before all that went up. I remember driving into the Docklands, and it was all just derelict buildings and
absolutely, absolutely,
wharfs and that was just derelict. And I was dating this girl at the time, and she was a ballet dancer, and she wanted a new.
Fuck yeah! Is that what she said?
Yeah, no, she was real good as well, Kieran. She
ballet rap what with a pole?
No. She wanted a new set of portfolio photographs, and at the time I was into photographs, cameras, stuff, and I had a real decent.
Yeah, I bet.
Would I take some photos? So we went to the Docklands, to some of these derelict buildings, and like the jetties and all that, and took a load of photographs. Took about fucking 4 reels of film. And we developed them all. She chose the one she liked. And you know what? She got a bit part in Coronation Street on the strength of them photographs.
Yeah.
She literally had a walk-on part. She had a walk-on part, literally. Just walked through on the strength of those photographs, though.
Oh, right. That's your claim to fame, is it?
No, not really.
She also got on Playboy with the other photographs she took.
Yeah, that's true. Babe Station with the videos, yeah, I know. Usual says Greenwich Foot Tunnel next to the rowing club. Absolutely true. Kieran will be dodging sharks in the surf. No, Kieran will be dodging the surf.
Yeah, that's the easier way. But it's just not going near the fucking surf. You're sweet.
Mr. Bill Gardner. Sorry, my apologies. Kieran would be chucking Sullivan in the ocean with the sharks. You would and all, wouldn't you, mate?
I think we all would be doing that.
It's interesting how the movie was a bit of a precursor to what actually happened in Long Good Friday. Yeah, it is. And the thing is that movie is based upon. It's not a true story, right? But it's based upon a true event or true events. And Harold Shand was just Lenny McLean renamed, basically. That's the story behind that. Lenny McLean was trying to get involved in redeveloping the London Docklands. Him and a few of the others. It's true.
He weren't bright enough.
No. And, it failed. It failed. But not because the IRA took him off and put a bullet in the back of his head. Was it all redeveloped from the war, right? Kind of, mate. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, even after the war, it was rebuilt. Even the Docklands were rebuilt, and they were built back to type. They weren't renovated as such. They were just rebuilt. The ones that were damaged, stuff. And the docks still operated for a number of years after the war, didn't they?
They did for a while, yeah, and then they started closing down, right? Because, especially with airplane technology, the ships.
I think at one point, Silvertown docks were the only ones that were being used on any regularity because it was the sugar deliveries to Tate and Lyle, wasn't it, at Silvertown?
Yeah, Tate and Lyle was in Canning Town, wasn't it? Silvertown,
Silvertown. Yeah.
But it was just the place. Actually, what they've done, and I've been to Canary Wharf a few times since I've come back to England. Jesus Christ, they built a city on a city, right? A small city, with their own airport, and it's pretty an amazing development, Canary Wharf. Yeah. But it was prime land. When you think about on the river in London, it was such a rundown bag of shit. They've actually done an amazing fucking job there. But to live there now, it was never for the locals, guys. It was always for people with money. Yeah. You need good money to live there.
Frog, he says there's a good little documentary with Bob Hoskins and Barry Norman walking around the area decades after he'd made the Long Good Friday, with Bob walking through the area. It's on YouTube. Listen, Frog, if you can put the link into the
Barry
chat,
Norman. I might have actually seen it many years ago.
In the comment section of this video, I'll give it a look. Please, mate, put it in the comment section. That'd be really good.
Barry Norman was the film critic, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember.
Right,
That's probably happened a long time ago.
We've still got shitloads. Bongo, you freaking loons. I saw that episode of Coronation Street. She pirouetted as she was fired through.
Well, no, Jamie, well picked.
Not at all. She walked along through the scene, and that was it. That was all she did.
Did she flash her knickers? That's what he wants to know.
No. She didn't even, you wouldn't even tell that she was a ballet dancer. You would have just thought she was somebody else.
No, James, he said, mate, she pirouetted. That's it. She's in. Brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant, Mr. Bond.
Yeah, Frog was saying it didn't really start getting properly redeveloped until the late 70s. You could still play on the bombed land as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Will do, mate. Thank you, Frog. That would be great. Ian McLean is an underrated gangster role, terrifying as the Beast in Sexy Beast. Ian McLean.
There's another. He's got that Sexy Beast. I fucking love that. Oh, boy, that's a great film.
Great film. But,
who is it, matey? Geezer. Gandhi. What's his name?
Oh yeah. What is his name? Ben Kingsley.
What's his name?
Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley. The part he played, and I'm telling you this now, guys.
No.
And talk about the Hornchurch mob I used to knock around with, right?
Yeah.
The part he played was unbelievable. I didn't think Ben Kingsley could play that part. He's a fucking psycho in it, right?
Yeah.
But I know a guy so similar to that man, right? So similar. It's unbelievable. To that character he played. It's unreal, right? It's like he fucking based it on the guy I know. Because I came back from Australia once, and there was a new pub there just outside of Hornchurch there that I went to meet with my mate, and we went to this new pub and we had a beer there. And this guy that we knew for years walked in, right? And this is a true story. He walked in, right, with a carrier bag, and it was loaded, right? And he put it on the bar, and he went, "Cieran, I ain't seen you for years, mate. Oh, yeah, I'm in Australia. Yeah, I know. Good. Lovely guy to talk to." And he was honestly 5'4", small.
Yeah.
But we all knew that he was fucking psychopathic, this fucking guy. And he said, "What do you reckon of that?" And opened this carrier bag up and showed me. And there was £15,000 in cash in the carrier bag. And I said, "Oh, yeah? You got to pay out, son, did you?" And he went, "Oh, yeah." He'd become a money collector, geezer. The worst thing ever for the man like this. And people used to employ him, right? Say a builder had been ripped off for a load of money, or done a work for a builder and not been paid.
I'll give you 5% or 10% of the take.
Yeah,
go and get what you can.
He'd turn up to them person's house and collect. Yeah. So he turned up at this geezer's house, kicked the fucking geezer, started working, didn't kick the door in. The boy, his story, the boy opened the door, he kicked it in, fucking done him. Got one of them, them mobile gas burners, lit it, put it on his bollocks. And he's telling me this story and laughing, right? That's how mental this fucker is. He's put it on his bollocks. He said, right, 15 grand a week, every week, for the next whatever he was owed, the guy that he owed. And he went, yeah. Didn't give a fuck. And he's laughing about it, guy. And that was his first time to go and pick the money up. But it was so much like that Ben Kingsley fucking character. You go, fuck me, man. They exist, these lunatics. Fucking honestly.
Oh, mate.
So, yeah, Ben Kingsley, I thought in that film was fucking amazing.
Yeah, he was great. Right, listen, guys, thank you everybody for your comments. Don't forget to hit the like button as you leave, if you would, please. Still 201 people watching. That's amazing.
Yeah, and you're not going to get 50 fucking likes out of that, look. Sort them out.
Come on.
Where's it?
Let's have a few more.
Dave, usual. Sort them out, guys.
Yeah, mate. Right. We'll send Kieran's mate round with his Calagas burner.
And we done bare knuckle boxing after that, guys. Just because he was bored.
Yeah, I don't.
Fucking head.
There was a guy around Crawley who used to do bare knuckle boxing. His name was Dave Smith.
Yeah.
Mate, he was good.
What I will say though, look, don't ever estimate a geezer who's 5'4". Don't underestimate him.
No, I wouldn't. Don't underestimate a geezer who's 63. Right. As I said, says Cookie, famous wankers hit the.
You sort him out, Cookie. He's the man. He's sort him out.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Cookie.
Cheers, Ian.
Thanks, Froggy, and thanks everybody else. I'm going to end the stream. Take care, everybody. Speak to you next week.
Have a good week, guys. Hopefully, catch you next week with a positive win against Brighton.
Yeah,
bound to be good.
And
I said that last week about Southampton, mind you.
I've got a good Sunday coming up, though. I've got to mention this. I've got a good Sunday coming up. My daughter's expecting. Okay.
All right.
The daughter you met, Sean.
Yeah.
She's expecting.
She's having another one.
Yeah. And so they're doing not the gender reveal, but I think they're going to let all their friends know what they're going to name the baby on Sunday, but they're basically having what they call a baby shower. I call it an excuse to go and have a pint. So but my daughter's having a little thing on Sunday. So anybody in the Crawley area, get yourselves down to the White Hart in Crawley Town.
White Hart.
Come and see me. Yeah, it's not a posh pub. It's probably the roughest fucking pub in Crawley.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's a posh pub, son. It can be whatever it is.
It's not like when we come up and saw you in that posh restaurant, you know. Right, boys and girls, thank you very, very much. Cookie says 3-0.
Skills, Cookie. Yeah, you've been good, Cookie, tonight, sir. Well, as well.
Hopefully. Congratulations, Budgie. Thank you. Everyone in chat, please. Thank you, chat. Thank you.
Cheers, JB.
Tom Thumbs Arch. Yeah, let's hope next week we've got some more positive stuff to talk about. And you guys in the chat, put your score predictions in. I'm going 2-0 to Brighton. Cieran went with a 1-1. And with that, I'm going to say, come on, you Irons. See you next week.